Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group. What I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have a 2025 Hyundai Palisade. We'll look at the interior, exterior, some of the trim level specifics, then go for a spin around, see what it's like out on the road. Okay, so now we're behind the wheel of the 2025 Hyundai Palisade, and this is the XRT trim. So there's a bunch of different trim levels when looking at the Palisade. This one's going to be a little bit more towards the top. Now you've got the limited or the calligraphy that's going to be near the top level, but for 2025 they added the SEL Premium. So that's going to slot in right between the XRT and the limited as far as equipment goes, but this one still gets a lot of good stuff. So let's put it in drive, we'll go for a spin around, talk about some of that. Now, one of the first things that you notice inside the Palisade is just all the luxury and comfort feel that you get out of this vehicle. Now, it almost feels like it kind of outkicks the coverage a little bit in terms of maybe what it competes with. The soft touch materials in here are great. I love the layout of the cabin, and this particular one with the 12.3-inch display, I've got Apple CarPlay, or you can do Android Auto. Now, when the Palisade comes with the built-in navigation, it is a wired system. So I got my phone plugged in down here, but if you don't want to use Apple CarPlay, you can still use the Bluetooth. So basically you just put your phone on the wireless charger down here and you can use it to make phone calls or stream audio. Now the Apple CarPlay is pretty convenient though. That's going to give you things like text messaging, Google Maps, Spotify, all that good stuff built right into the screen. And another really cool thing in here is the 360 view surround view camera. So the backup camera is pretty incredible. There's a few different ways you can kind of click through to look at it, but if you hit something when parking, you'd have to be trying pretty hard because that backup camera is crystal clear and makes it very easy to see what's going on around you. Another thing that's pretty cool, you don't even have to have it reverse. You can just click the little button down here and that's going to pull up the camera for you. Now let's talk about the exterior on this Palisade. So all Palisades are going to come with a 3.8 liter V6. So what does that mean? You're looking at about 291 horsepower, and this has an 8-speed automatic transmission. So you're going to get about 24 mpg on the highway, maybe high teens, low 20s combined, but you can still tow 5,000 pounds with the Palisade. So if you got a utility trailer, maybe a small camper or boat, this can definitely get that towed for you, as these do come standard no matter which Palisade you're looking at, with the transmission cooler to help you out there. Now, on the exterior, this XRT does get a different 20-inch wheel, so it's a little bit different style on the XRT. It's kind of more of an off-road focused, I guess you could say, with some of the other trims in the Hyundai lineup, but this XRT with the 20-inch wheel still keeps a very on-road focused tire, yet you're going to get the roof rack rails up above. So if you got the mountain bikes, or maybe you got the kayaks or a roof box, you can throw that up there, which is pretty cool. And this one also gets the sunroof up above, which is pretty nice. Now this one also gets the full blacked out grille. It does look pretty sharp. I think this one's called steel graphite. So the darker gray color with the black accents and the black wheels does give it a little bit of that sportier appearance to it. And this one also gets LED headlights as well as the LED taillights out back. Now, speaking of out back, this one does get the power liftgate, so you can easily access your cargo there, whether it's on the key fob, or you can just click the little button back there. It's going to open up, and you can load up quite a bit of stuff even with the third row up. Now, that is an important thing to note with the Palisade, that this is a third row vehicle. Now, the newest vehicle in the Hyundai lineup is the redesigned Santa Fe, and that is also going to be a third row, but you are going to get a little bit more space with the Palisade. It's got a little bit larger of a footprint. For the seating capabilities, it's either going to be a 8 or 7 passenger vehicle. So the SE trim level is going to come with a bench seat as standard in the Palisade, but most of the other trim levels, it's either going to be an option or it's going to have the captain's chairs as that second row. Now, accessing the third row is really easy. You just click a little button either kind of on the shoulder area of the second row or down below. So if the little kids can come up, they can click that button. It'll be fun, and it slides the seat forward and makes it really easy to hop into that third row. Now in the third row, there's cup holders, but in the second row for the captain seats, there is 3 cup holders in the door, and you get USB charging or USB-C charging in the side of my seat, and a third zone climate control, which is really convenient. Now, what about the driver's seat? So obviously it's snowing today, it's a little chilly here in Minnesota, so I've got a 3-level heated seat for the driver and the passenger, and I've also got a remote start on the key fob. So I could fire up the vehicle before I even hop in. It's going to be nice and warm, or in the summertime you can obviously cool it down as well, and it'll run for about 10 minutes. Now the seating position in here is great. The mirrors are pretty large on the side, and those are auto dimming mirrors as well. They have blind spot monitoring built in. So as far as safety goes, obviously if you or your family is going to be in the vehicle, you're going to want to make sure you're safe, and the Hyundai Palisade and all the Hyundai vehicles really deliver on that front. The Hyundai Safety Suite gives you things like the blind spot monitoring, an adaptive cruise control system, so you can set 3, 2, 1 car length distances ahead of you, and it's got a lane departure warning. So if you start to sway out of your lane, or maybe you're not paying attention for a second, it'll kind of give you a notification and a beep to let you know to pay attention to the road. Now from there, there's also emergency braking, and like I said, that pretty incredible backup camera. So there's lots of safety to obviously keep you and everyone in the vehicle very safe. Also the safe exit feature. If it detects a vehicle is coming up maybe on your blind spot, it won't let that second row door open up, just to keep it to make sure you're not jumping out into traffic. If you got the kids back there, obviously that's an awesome safety feature to have. Now from the driver's seat again though, this leather wrapped steering wheel also gets the little paddle shifters on here. So there's a few different drive modes. If I kick it down into the sport mode, that 3.8 liters got a little juice to it, and you can use those paddle shifters to have a little bit of fun. There's also an eco mode if you want to save a little gas, or the tow mode over here on the side, and a snow mode. Obviously we're not quite there yet today, but with winter very much here, you can kick that in and it's going to help you out. Now this one also gets a dual zone climate control, so driver, passenger, and like I said, that third zone can also be set back there, so it makes it really easy to have everyone comfortable and safe when you're in the car. And the Palisade is a great daily drivable vehicle. I mean, it's a large third row SUV, but it doesn't drive like maybe a huge Yukon or one of the Suburbans. It's got a small kind of footprint and feel to it as far as from being behind the wheel. It's easy to park with that backup camera or just getting in and out of a spot. There's plenty of power and get up and go with a 3.8 liter, and pretty great technology. Like I said, with the Apple CarPlay in here, Android Auto, all of the creature comforts and everything you're getting out of this Palisade, capability, the space, the ease of use. I mean, that second row is so easy. You can actually use buttons in the third row that you can click that will fold the second row down, or the physical buttons, like I said, on the second row themselves. So it does make it really easy to have this as a great family vehicle. You can load up the kids, their friends, go wherever you're off to, and everyone's going to be comfortable. They're going to be charged up when you're on the go. And I mean, there's a lot to like on the exterior design as well. So I think if you're cross-shopping Honda, Toyota, or even the Jeep or any of the other vehicles, I think you gotta get out, take one of these Palisades for a spin, and see what you think. Now that was just a quick look and drive at the 25 Hyundai Palisade. Now if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching.